Welcome. How is everybody? Hope everybody is lovely. Lovely. So change real quick. I need to see if he's in the PD meeting. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my old katana, mostly because this is a less on the nose thing. Um, I do want to start wearing my other katana soon, but taking it slow. I feel like she's going to wear her other katana when she's successful with what she's planning. Smile. Which I do have plans. I've been working on something for a while, past week or so. I've been working on a medical legislation of sorts. I am wanting to be the change, basically, because it is constantly surprising to me that there's no medical legislation. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, no matter what people say or think about me. I want something better. And I have been very nervous to do anything for a while. Because I don't want people to get the wrong ideas about me, but at the same time, I shouldn't care. And that's the thing, I care way too much. And I need to not care as much, I know, but I do. Because I'm not in the business of trying to fuck people over. That time has long passed. I used to be really angry about how things shook out with LSMG. It was definitely a dark time for me. I felt like it shouldn't have happened the way that it did. And I was angry. And now I feel like I'm finally like at a place now where I just want something better. And it's not going to be easy. I know that. But I'm also willing to do what I have to do, basically. To get shit going. But it's definitely going to be a process. But I have the legislation written up. I'm hoping to talk to a couple of I want to talk to some lawyers to basically go over some things, you know? Make sure that everything I have written down is sound. I have been writing medical legislation for the past few days, a proposal, which I will go over I'm just so nervous about it, you know? It's one of those things where like I am really nervous to try to change things because I know that it's going to be a pain in the ass. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be annoying. But I'm also like I don't know. I'm nervous about it, but I'm also like determined to make shit happen, I guess. Is this like a green or an olive? What the fuck is that? Um, it's really scary to like want to make big changes in a city that is very hesitant to changes, I guess. And I don't know, it's not going to stop me from trying. Hold on, I need to check something. This is not what I'm wearing, but I need to see something. Sorry. That's funny to me. Oh god. Spooky season? It's always spooky season. What you mean? What are those hospital pictures you posted? Which ones? Not entirely sure what you're talking about, to be honest. With all the dead? Oh, that's tsunami shenanigans. That's what happens at tsunami. Yeah, you just kill everybody. Smile. No. So, this skirt's gonna irritate me. It looks green. Hate that. Let's do a throwback. Let's do a throwback. This was a skirt Ari actually wore when she first moved to the city. So, let's talk a bit while I have to drive to Polito to pick up Ari's boyfriend. Not me going, I hate seeing her happy. Anyways, I am nervous because I'm going to try to talk to some judges and lawyers today, and I just want to start talking about medical legislation. I have been working on it for the past few days. Something that I noticed, because I started doing research on this because somebody brought it up and I was like, no way, and I looked it up. There's no medical legislation. Let that sink in. There's no medical legislation. There's nothing in the Constitution about medicine, about medical. There's charges in the penal code, but nothing in the Constitution to basically alleviate the pressures and give you the ability to not break these laws. There is a law about practicing medicine without a license, but there's nothing about how to get said license. Everything else, from a weapons license to a to hunting and fishing licenses, all of that is covered in legislation somewhere, right? There is nothing. And there's legislation about we just ask him if so essentially what we're dealing with right now is there's no medical legislation. And it's just like, I don't know, it bothers me because there could easily be medical legislation. nervous to talk to people about it. Like, I'm not asking for the sun and moon. Like, that's the thing. I feel like now I've been gaslit into believing that what I ask for is too much. And I hate that because I know it's not. I know it's not too much. Because if I can get this legislation passed, then if I find out that it's been passed and it gets approved, the next thing I'm doing is going to the mayor to be like, oh, hi, mommy. My God. First, let me be very clear. It's going to say hi, mommy 100 times. Hi, mommy. We're not doing that. Hi, mommy. We're not doing that. Anonymous? I don't know who my anonymous benefactor is. Hi, mommy. But are you good? Hi, mommy. Are you okay? Hi, mommy. What is happening? Thank you, Jesus. Hi, mommy. It's gonna say hi, mommy 100 times, and I'm really upset about it. Hi, mommy. I can't turn it off. Oh no. Hold on. Oh, mommy. God. Oh no. I can't stop it. I literally can't. Hi, mommy. Oh no. Let me see. I am an emotional terrorist. Smile. Yay. I am an emotional terrorist. Smile. That's really funny. That's my new
I am an emotional terrorist.
sub-alert.
Smile.
Let me see if that worked. It did. I think it did. I turned it off because that's going to be annoying as fuck. But thank you for the 100 gifties. Oh my God. Do you guys see what we're now going to have to do? Is that what it is? Oh, look at that, everyone. We're going to be doing a first-person shooter and a cyberpunk weekend. That is what you have achieved with September goals. I do think I need to change a few things on my subathon, my September shit. Because I actually want my cop character to return sooner, so that's going to be my next goal. Smile. There you go. I've updated it. Y'all are nuts. I can't believe you've done this. You're naughty. You're absolutely insane. I don't know if it's gonna mean I don't know. I really don't want to be on the Cyberpunk server. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't. but I will be buying Cyberpunk, and we will be playing Cyberpunk for the first time. I've never played Cyberpunk. So these are my September goals. Thank you. Oh. Okay, I love that. Yeah, I just like right now I'm kind of just focused on I'm focused on NoPixel. I'm having headaches. That's great. It's fantastic. For me. It's because there's a shit ton of people here. Let me just go down the street and park. I don't want to be weird. I definitely was weird. It's fine. So I am basically, I'm going to be bringing my cop character back. But I want to try to reach the September goal of 150 before I actually do a stream with her. How about that? And then we're gonna be doing say yes to everything in RP for a day. Oh my god, it's horrible. So like if you recommend something or say something in chat, I will try to say yes to it, and then anything that happens in the server I will say yes to a degree. If somebody says like I want you to kill this person, I'm not gonna do it. Unless it's a certain person. Smile. Merch drop. I have a merch idea. Chat picks my Halloween costume. The next one is Racer Arc. Now, I don't want to say that Jade is returning in the traditional sense. I have been wanting to just race, period. And,
I'm leaving.
You're leaving?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Okay. Look at you jogging.
There's nothing of value being shared.
Mm.
And I'm being told not to doom, so I'm just leaving.
You're being told not to doom?
Yeah. With my mentor, I can understand why she's telling me not to, but like...
Wait. Is it just her that said that, or is it like in the meeting?
It's her.
Okay.
She just said, you know, you shouldn't... Hold on. I mean, she's right, but, you know. She said, I said, okay, well, the nice words might not have worked. She said, what? And I said, Han had concerns about stuff that I've never even had to deal with both times around, so I'm most likely gonna fail over that. And then unhinged sad boy arc starts. She said, you aren't gonna do an unhinged sad boy arc. I'm sure it went fine, and you'll get the full deputy one day, because I'm gonna get you there regardless of what pops up. And I said, not gonna lie, I would murder someone on a third final, so I'm not entirely sure about that one. I said, but I do want you to know that, like you said, regardless of what pops up, you're a fantastic mentor, and it wouldn't be your fault. And she said, you're good at what you do, so stop dooming. And I said, I'm good at the things I specialize in, which I can't do until I pass a test that asks me to know stuff I've never been taught. So it's kind of a middle line of oh fuck and oh well. And she went, it is oh well, and then an oh fuck. I don't know.
Okay, but you also told me that you are a bit of a pessimist, and I think you might be focusing on the negatives. I'm sure there were some good things that happened during the final that show you do know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, there were good things that happened. It was overall, it was really good, but he asked me on charges that I've never had to press, and then obviously I didn't know what the fuck they meant or the differences. And then he was like, "It's a concern because these are basic charges that you should know." And I'm like, "Well, if they're basic, why have I never pressed them in 8 months?" And I don't know, like just I hate it. I already said I'm not doing a third. So
Yeah.
if this is it, then this is it.
Well, we're gonna stay positive until we know otherwise.
Yeah. We probably should go to MRPD because I'm so plugged in.
Okay.
I just hate the fact that they go like,
What?
you're good at what you do, but then they also know that the thing I'm good at is something that I'm not allowed to do until they pass me. It's so dumb, man. Like,
It's the concept of the. Does it? Let me just ask you. Does it annoy you when I use like an analogy or not? It's not really comparing. It's my experience with
I
the
don't.
hospital, and I'm trying to like understand what your experience is with
It
PD,
doesn't.
and I'm seeing if it compares and if it's.
My experience with PD is being told I'm good at what I do, but then being cock blocked and held from the thing I'm good at because I have to pass a test that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm good at. That's my experience with PD, and it's always been the case. It's been like that since LSPD, but the difference is that in LSPD I passed. Passed first try even.
I know something that I was told a lot at the hospital is the idea that you have to earn the right to basically break the rules. And the longer you're there, the longer you are. The longer you're there, the more trust, quote unquote, that you garner from your coworkers means that you're able to get away with more. And is that right? No. But I feel like it's the same with PD, just this concept of you
It
have
kind
to
of
earn
is
it.
right, to be honest. You get away with a lot more over seniority. It's just
Knowing all the charges is kind of important. The thing is that, and I feel this in my soul, there should be changes constantly. Things should be evolving, and what is that? Y'all heard that? I thought I
you
heard a
okay?
jet. Maybe I'm just going
Yeah,
crazy.
there's a jet out.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm not going crazy. That's so nice.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was like, I don't see a jet, and like, I haven't had PTSD flashbacks from the war, and I was like, no, it's been like 3 weeks. How dare?
Huh.
Everything's fine. I don't know where this thing is happening. Probably where the headaches will start is where it's happening.
Yeah, I'm just kind of gonna be there. I'm not even gonna. Sort of. TLDR, they asked me the difference between robbery and first degree robbery, which is something you don't deal with as a motor cop, which is what I was for 8 months. So I didn't know. The difference is that robbery is so. Say you have someone robbing a bank. Uh, almost everything would fall under one charge: robbery of a financial. So him having a gun on him, him kidnapping a hostage, him fleeing the scene would all fall under robbery of a financial. Now, if they're dumb fucks and they attack or make shit violent, then we break it down, and robbery of a financial turns into robbery, kidnapping, reckless evading, possession charges. But the difference is that's for like the vault and shit, right? So if the vault turns aggressive, robbery of a financial turns into grand larceny and like like 7 different charges. Uh, if a fleeca turns violent, robbery of a financial turns into robbery and 7 other charges. If a jewelry store turns violent, robbery changes into first degree robbery. Like we have 4 different umbrella chargers for the same fucking thing. And then they expect me, someone who has been a motor cop for almost a year, who only deals with street racing, reckless evading, resisting arrest, to know umbrella charges of bank robberies. Like, what? Huh? I don't know. It pisses me off. It gets me so angry. I need to stop talking about it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let's let's attend whatever this is.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's already happened or if it's continuing. I'm not sure.
I don't know. You're jaywalking. You're jaywalking. You're jaywalking.
Oh my god, what are you gonna do? Arrest me?
Yes.
Wow. Rude.
It wouldn't be the first.
It's true.
Charges in the city are so fucking dumb. What even is what's happening? What do we?
I don't know.
Come see us. P Money's gonna be there. We're gonna have some
Let me see
Hi,
if
what's up,
it's
Luis?
happened or if it's still.
Chilling.
Nice.
How's the wide body? Sold it yet?
No, I'm not getting rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I've grown to kind of enjoy it now.
So
It's
5
my way
minutes.
driving.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's
not that bad of a
starting.
car. Looks nice.
Maybe.
Once you get used to it, drives pretty good too.
What the?
5.5
Wide
mil.
body?
I'm gonna sit at the car real quick and think about
it used to drive a lot
think
better.
about a coffee because I'm gonna
Oh, is it
pass
shit now?
out.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he does great.
Most people, they don't. I believe in you guys. I'll see you there, okay? Oh, that's going to be very exciting.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you'll have a very
Hello,
successful
guys.
career with the SDSL.
Hey, Cal.
Loyalty cards?
Lee. It's me, Jenna. I fixed your jewelry. Here, come to the casino in 1 hour and use the
Wonder
loyalty
happened.
card. You gotta use the loyalty card. I'll just give it to you.
You'll do fine. You'll do fine.
I don't know what first-person shooter game I should play. Okay, so I want to talk real quick about this. I completely understand if you have like your specialty. Like, let's be real. Yes, cops should know the basic charges, right? For what you are going to run into on a regular, like, day-to-day basis. I get it. But
Technically,
when you specialize in something, I do understand the concept of you end up starting to focus on
I remember when I was
certain
a trainee,
areas.
cure a guy's head when he fell off a tall building.
And it
Okay,
can be...
mic check. Is this on? Can everybody hear me?
It's on, Your Honor.
Excuse me, sir?
See you soon.
Can't we stand next to him and be his hot bitches?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, his head fell clean off. Like it just peeled off.
Yeah. I understand his
Hello, how is everybody
frustration.
doing today?
I do.
Hey, nice to see
We'll
ya.
just go in the front.
I see you too. Nice to see everybody
Hi, Grace.
here.
Hi, Cassandra.
So, over the
Love
past
you.
couple of weeks, I've received multiple requests from the public, from individuals, from corporations, from members of the PD who have stated that they wanted a voice, they wanted to be heard, that they wanted their opinions to at least be listened to in a public setting, right? A lot of discussions are going on departmentally behind the scenes where everyone's discussing things, but no one's just throwing this open to the public to see what your opinions of the last few weeks have been. And I think that's important. I think in an active functioning democracy, that is what happens. Now, I have some remarks before I throw this open to the floor. I'm gonna read these remarks, and if you have any questions for me, I am here. I'm willing to answer them, right? This is not one of these things where I am refusing to engage. So, if you're all ready, if everybody's here, hello everyone. In the past 2 weeks, I've been to the funerals of 2 different friends, and I and many others are worrying daily about friends who are still missing in action. There are some of us who will never stop paying the price for the action of 17 days ago. Emotionally, physically, the price is still being paid.
The worth is still missing.
The usurpation of the Sanguine Isles happened 17 days ago. The forces of San Andreas landed and waged war on the Sanguine Isle, a land that had had its sovereignty acknowledged in our own legislation on the 5th of May 2023. We, without any consultation with the people of San Andreas or Sanguine, revoked that, took away the rights and privileges of a nation, of a people, unilaterally on the 20th of August 2023, purely a prelude to an illegal war. The men and women on Sanguine were charged without due process in the following hours, but this is inherently illegal. Amendment 5 of the San Andreas Constitution of the Rights of Persons reads, "No person shall be held to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a justice, except in the cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in the time of war or public danger." So legal precedent stands from justices the late Antigone Weston, Katya Zamolodchikova, and Ray Montag, the writers of our Constitution, that some removal of due process may be constitutional if those individuals were in service to the San Andreas militia or military forces. I would see the removal of due process from any active member of our own military to then be constitutionally exempted. But that still leaves over 50 individuals. This exception does not cover who were stripped of constitutional rights. Once we usurped the Sanguine Isle, we claimed sovereignty and our laws became the law of the Sanguine Isle. Our constitution became their constitution. These are the laws we should follow for a just society. So we are left not with a constitutional crisis, but ultimately an existential one. I am going to be precise and clear here. And I am saying this publicly. I understand the argument that the Senate authorized it, and via the legislation, that makes it legal. I disagree wholeheartedly with this legislation, and I'm stating publicly it is unjust and unconstitutional. It should be removed from our legislative body. Unconstitutional laws should not be upheld. There should be a check and a balance. The judiciary is that check and a balance. Everything should be beholden to checks and balances. Unchallenged, uncontrolled, unconstitutional power should be abhorred. The state, in the people of the state of San Andreas versus Johnny Devine, make the claim that the invasion of the sovereign Isles of Sanguine was done in part based on an extradition treaty. The statement of charges of that reads, which is currently on the docket, publicly accessible to anybody. On August 11, 2023, Johnny Devine would flee to the Isle of Sanguine after a warrant was placed for his arrest. following his attempted murder of Redacted in Los Santos. The Isle refused to extradite this wanted individual, violating the previous treaty. This in part would lead to the armed conflict between the United States and the Isle of Sanguine. The extradition clause, however, actioned via Aegis, says nothing about the repercussions should such a request be denied. So where is the breach of the extradition treaty? If no breaches are discussed in the extradition treaty, where is the breach by denying this request for extradition? The island refused to extradite this wanted individual, violating the previous treaty. This in part would lead to the armed conflict between the US and the Isle of Sanguine. Going to war, invading, imperialistically claiming sovereign land is an insane overreach and overreaction to a denial of a request. I question wholly the statement that the treaty was violated. I can find no violation reading that treaty. This war was predicated upon a civilian oversight branch set up to determine what kind of screwdrivers the Caddy's Corner can sell and what kind of sex toys Swallow can stock. Requests denied from Aegis should get your shop shut down, not a sovereign nation bombed and invaded. This was an overreach. Negotiations with Sanguine failed after they were very publicly and transparently shown to be nothing but demands. This was not the state attempting to protect and serve. This was the state making demands of obey or survive. Bend the knee and swear fealty. We can thank LSBN and the press for their unwavering coverage of the fall of our society. All of it is a sham. All of it is there to legitimize the illegitimate. I'm now going to read a passage that was written by John Franklin Kennedy. For those to whom much is given, much is required. And when at some future date the High Court of History sits in judgment on each of us, recording whether in our brief span of service we fulfilled our responsibilities to the state, our success or failure in what office we may hold will be measured by the answers to 4 questions. First, were we truly citizens of courage, with the courage to stand up to one's enemies, and the courage to stand up when necessary to one's associates? The courage to resist public pressure as well as private greed. Secondly, were we truly citizens of judgment, with perceptive judgment of the future as well as the past, of our own mistakes as well as the mistakes of others, with enough wisdom to know that we did not know and enough candor to admit it? Third, were we truly citizens of integrity, men who never ran out on either the principles in which they believed or the people who believed in them, men who believed in us, citizens who neither financially gain nor political ambition could ever divert from the fulfillment of our sacred trust? Finally, were we truly citizens of dedication, with an honor mortgaged to no single individual or group, and compromised to no private obligation or aim, but devoted solely to serving the public good and national interest? These questions are inherent in the problems we are facing as a state, as a nation. San Andreas has never answered these questions in recent memory, and we need to answer them now in order to move forward and form a more perfect union. I call then not for revolution or rebellion or violence. I call for democracy, for patriotism, for the enforcement of our rights and responsibilities as citizens outlined in our own constitution. I call for elections. I call for a vote of no confidence in the Senate. I call for transparency and accountability across all governmental authorities. I call for our rights to be upheld and ratified, for unjust and tyrannical laws to be stricken from our legislation. I call for power to be placed, instead of in the hands of an oligarchy, into the hands of elected representatives of the people. I call for the rule of law to have a basis in morality and the will of our citizenry, not for the whims of a fallible individual placed above all scrutiny against the protections of our Constitution. I open the floor to the people gathered here today to speak, for the people to question, for the people to have their voices heard in a way they have not been heard in years. In the last 2 years since the Senate took over and usurped the authority of San Andreas, the way they usurped the authority of a sovereign nation in the Isle of Sanguine. The floor is yours, people. It's time for you to have your voice heard. My name is Nathaniel Grayson, and I stand before you as a citizen of San Andreas.
What is Blood talking about?
These guys kill like the commissioner in jail. I the whole thing. Great fucking speech.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
If your comprehension skills are too low to understand, maybe you should just leave the room.
Hey, that was a lot. I support everyone's right to have their opinions. I think you should inform yourself before creating opinions, and I think that you should, at a very basic level, read all of the LSBN articles, which would clearly isolate reasons for the invasion that go well beyond that Aegis thing that was mentioned. Trying to compress the last 3 weeks to a month, or 2 months, or even 3 months, depending on how involved you've been, into a 5-minute speech is both foolish and unproductive, so I won't do so. Do your own research. Thanks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you surprised by what he
It's not like I mean, what do you expect from a man no one voted for?
Hello?
Everybody's
Hi, have you gotten your flu shot recently?
Anybody going up?
No.
Well, if you haven't gotten your flu shot recently, you should come down to Pillbox.
Hello.
What hospital we at?
Name's
Simone
Marty
Memorial
Hardy, CEO of Wu Chang Records,
Get
CEO
your
of
flu
Hardy
shot
Hardy
today,
Entertainment
okay?
Enterprises, executive partner of Jiggy Studios, and owner of the NoPixel Music Awards, and the first ever mayor of Los Santos. That was taken from me. It was announced that Party Hardy was the mayor, the first ever mayor, in fact, but then it was taken away and called a glitch in the system. Now, I like Andy Jones, and I'm glad she did all that work for me. But it seems like a lot in this government is just done willy-nilly, without a plan whatsoever most of the time. As if a lot of decisions in these government facilities are just done randomly. Me, I don't do things randomly. I have plans. I have done the most events out of any business in the city within the last year. Over 50, in fact. I have proof. Let me post it.
How'd they get my phone number? I'm not in the yellow pages.
There you go. Events. I get work done. And it seems like a lot of people in this city complain when something is not being done, but don't do anything about it. I come from a time where if you want to do something, go out and do it. Sometimes you don't need government support. But if you do need it, then find a way to make it happen. You know, find some friends, come together, create groups, create political factions. If you look at the people who are nominated each time for, or who are running for mayor, it's always independent, or Cerberus. And people will complain, oh, Cerberus does all this, Cerberus does that. Okay, why don't you make your own Cerberus? But they don't, because a lot of people are simply lazy. I experience this a lot as CEO of the biggest and most thriving record label. When you're at the top, a lot of people try to bring you down. I'm gonna stay at the top. And if you want my position, you should try to get it. Just saying. Now, my opinions on this war, I think it was all a bit silly. Just saying. Seems like the PD has been unorganized for
Like,
quite
he
some
knows,
time,
he
and
knows
I only
the
hope
fucking
the best.
case laws. I
My
quizzed him on
problems with
that
the PD,
shit. But
well,
charges
when people
as
get
far as
shot
what
at my
you
business,
will
by the
charge
way,
on a
I've been
day-to-day
clean
basis.
forever, never
He
done a
knows
crime, never got a
those.
speeding
They quizzed him
ticket
on
or anything
probably
like that.
lesser known
I call the
ones
PD,
that
they don't show up.
maybe
you know
they
who
don't
does?
get charged
the EMS.
all that much.
Shout out to the EMS.
Or that-
But the PD, most of the time, they don't show up, and I'm
So, I
assuming
can
they
understand
won't
being
show up for
frustrated.
hours. But that's okay.
I really
They're
can.
busy.
It's kind of
They're
like,
busy.
but you
But
see,
remember,
this is my, to be
civilians
honest with
like
you,
me, we're doing our
not
thing,
having,
and we
not
just
getting
hope
one
that the
thing
PD
right, but
will
having
support
like
us at the end
90%,
of the day.
I'm just gonna say it.
After
If you
they're
did 90%
done
of
with
your
their
final
own
well, and the 10% was not
What else
knowing
was
a
this
certain
about?
case law or a
Well,
certain,
I heard a whole lot of constitutional stuff. I hope that gets done.
What am I saying?
And in my opinion,
not knowing a
Crane
certain
over
case
there,
law or
he does a lot of great work. And the mayor, Andy
certain
Jones,
charge,
does a
and
lot
you're
of
not
great work.
familiar
Our last
with
mayor
that,
done a lot of great
90%
work.
is still passing. I'm
They've
sorry,
done
but
more
like
work than
these
some
are
of the
things that
previous
you
mayors.
can learn and continue on and
And
continue
I
to
actually
get better
believe
at
our
as
city
you be a
will
cop.
have a great future as long
Like that's the
as
thing. I'm
people
just sitting here. I'm
start
like,
working.
I
Seems
have
like
a
nobody
hard
wants to
time
work nowadays.
thinking.
So I can only hope
It
that
was right there
everybody
to learn.
comes together.
You also have to
builds
consider
their
that some
businesses,
people do
and
better,
creates thriving
have different
events
learning styles.
like I have. By
and,
the way,
let's
be at
be
the
honest,
casino opening party. P Money's gonna be there.
NoPixel's a hot
Big
mess,
return.
and
Bimbo's
not
gonna be
everybody's
there.
learning
Say
styles
Noel,
are going to
all your
mesh
favorite
with how
stars.
PD teaches their cadets.
All right, that's all
But
I got
also,
to say.
just the fact
Hashtag
that
ad. That's right.
he does have the past experiences. I personally think he did well enough to pass. I think this one thing is bothering him.
All right, everyone. Thanks everyone for coming here. And I'm gonna encourage once again. If you guys have anything you want to say, please come on up after this here.
He doesn't know.
I just wanted to kind of add my 2 cents here. Just want to start off by saying I'm not gonna throw
It's
any
probably
shade toward the
he
police
doesn't.
department.
He wasn't told.
I
I
have
don't think.
I'm absolutely ignorant as to what they did, the decisions that they made. I don't have any hands accounts of what they did. And it looks to me like they're taking the steps to police their own and dish out some punishments. So, you know, good on them. I don't know about what really started the war. All I have is really the coverage of what happened during it. But what I do have some firsthand experience on is the aftermath of it. And that's what really bugs me. I see, kind of to reiterate Grayson's side of things, the removal of due process. That's a pretty big issue for me. I don't think any citizen should ever have that removed from them, whether they're a citizen of Los Santos, whether they are, you know, someone from anywhere else.
It is kind of. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is scary, like to be like, okay, what is this?
The other thing I don't really care
What is
much
this
for
charge?
is
Bitch,
unequal
I'm
treatment.
not gonna know. I'm not
I
gonna
think the prime
memorize the
example of
entire
this,
penal code and
are
every single
two
fucking
people,
charge.
that suffered.
That's a
One,
lot of
Jebediah Musk,
information.
and the other one, Carmine
If you've been
Costello.
doing this for
Hell, I
like
get it,
3-4
right?
years,
Everyone fucking
maybe.
hates Carmine. He's
But
an
then
annoying
you're
little
forgetting
shit,
that there are
okay?
some things that do
But
change.
what he did
Wording
was not
and new
treason.
charges, like
But
I think
did he
it's a
go in
lot
for
to
it?
be like.
Absolutely, he did. Was there any oversight as to anyone when he was sent in, when they made that decision? It sure seems like not. And he wasn't really released until people started asking questions about why the hell he was in there in the first place. This was just to me an example of decisions that were made because people felt they were close enough to the power of the Senate that they could get away with it. And that to me is the big issue here. I'm kind of sick and tired of hearing, you know, because the Senate said so. I think the decisions being made in the aftermath of this war really show that not only are they not here for the people, they're only here for their own selfish reasons. The powers that they've been granted in that legislation are so extreme that people feel they need to fall in line, or else, you know, they're going to be fired, or they're going to be executed, or whatever it is. I mean, I know that as well myself. I have some experience with that. And I've finally had enough of it, and that's why I'm stepping out and talking about it. I second Grayson's call for an abolishment of that particular law and a vote of no confidence. And I would encourage anyone else here who feels any amount of input on this matter, either for or against. It doesn't matter. This is an open forum. You're here to speak your mind. Okay? So whoever wants to say anything next, come on up. You're more than welcome. Okay? That's all I have right now. And thank you everyone for your time.
True. Who even is the Senate?
I'm tired of it. They're trying to put my kid away for another 15 fucking years. Fuck them.
Sorry, I forgot something really important. Y'all should check out the Glenn Beck podcast. You can learn about why the government and inflation is going to ruin your life, and why you should buy a warehouse like I did and fill it with gold bullion. Thank you.
True.
They should dissolve unless they have any outstanding bonds and loans, which I bet they do, because as long as they continue to have outstanding bonds and loans, they never actually
You got this, Grace.
Sorry, I don't usually get up and do public speaking outside of court. I'll go ahead and start over. My name is Grace Daniels. I'm a defense attorney. I've been doing this in the city for over a year. And the reason that I do what I do is not for the W's, but for people's rights. And I'm always going to stand up for that. And that's why I decided to come up here and speak today. I appreciate the remarks from Judge Grayson and Judge Schwinghammer, and wanted to talk a little bit more about the two individuals that we know so far that were falsely imprisoned for treason and have since been released. I wanted to thank the defense attorneys and the other attorneys that worked on their behalf to get them released. And I just wanted to point out that had there been due process for the individuals on Sanguine Island, perhaps they could have been released sooner and had their voices heard. Thank you for this forum, everyone, because at the end of the day, it's important for everyone to have their voice heard, regardless of which side of a matter they fall on, or if they fall in the middle and have no opinion, that's all right too. But I do agree that people should be informed and they should look out for their rights. And I think that there are more stories to hear from the Sanguinians that we have not been able to hear because of the lack of due process. Whether or not them being heard will change their sentences, we don't know. But by being heard, we can find out what happened, we can learn about their experiences, their thoughts, and if injustice has been done, we can rectify that. So thank you guys very much for coming here. Please feel free to speak out. Even if you aren't sure where you stand yet, if you have questions, ask them. That's what it's all about. Thank you very much, and appreciate all of you attending.
No.
Hello, can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Yes, it is, Shelly.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Shelly Smith, business owner, accomplice to terrorism, former police officer, and victim of police corruption. You've probably seen me tweeting about this a lot for the past 9 months or so. I just gotta say that Brian Knight, Bass, you know, rest in peace, and Aegis are corrupt, and I was wrong. To this day, the Senate refuses to look into this case and deny me any kind of justice. Do I ask why? Why? It's a conspiracy and a cover-up. That's why. And I don't want to sit and beat a dead horse, but these people are not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves. And I would just like everyone to realize that it could be you next. Innocent, good, well, okay, maybe not innocent. You know, I've made mistakes and I've owned up to it. But people are suffering. People suffer because of these horrible laws that no one gets to argue. We live in a dictatorship. And that's all I have to say. Fuck the Senate. Thank you.
Burger Queen.
Quick, just real. Sorry about that. Greetings everybody, I'm Les Lindbergh, business genius. Jesus Christ too, some people say. I don't say it myself, but others do. I just want to say that I think people should stop using Twitter, and if people don't stop using Twitter in the way that they do, I intend to buy Twitter, and I will stop it for you. Thank you.
That's...
Sorry about that.
freedom of speech! Sorry. I love Alan Crane. What the fuck?
You know what? I've had this conversation with so many people, but I guess we're in another public forum, so we're gonna have it again. Shelley Smith pled guilty to terrorism as a primary actor. Anyone from the DOJ knows that that means that you do not qualify for an expungement. No contest is the same thing, ma'am. So, when someone... Okay. So, when someone takes a charge for terrorism as a primary actor, in her case for the bombing of several police departments, that does not qualify you for an expungement. This case was looked into at the highest levels of this city's government that go well beyond myself. The resolutions have been laid out to Ms. Smith in every single way possible. At this point, there is no possible way forward based on the current legislation of the heinous acts put in by Devereaux regarding Ms. Smith holding public office as a mayor, attorney, whatever, PD officer. That is the law before she committed her acts, before she took her plea deal, and it is the law afterwards. Thank you.
Shut up, Shelly.
Oh my god. Lane.
I think we need to turn the Sanguine Isles into a place where we send everybody with stupid ass fucking names to.
Yes.
Thank you. What the hell?
He got a point. He got a point. He got a point.
Hello. We heard a lot from a lot of people. Grayson talked a lot about this vote of no confidence for the Senate. I just want to make sure people understand what that is. This is a saying we don't believe in them, that they've got our best interest at heart. We don't believe that they are taking the actions that are needed for our state. A vote of no confidence for the Senate is a no-brainer at this point. Now, a vote of no confidence, how we go about that, fuck knows. We need to make it happen. But the Senate didn't get this way by itself. The Senate was paved and supported, guarded, and you've even seen some of it here today. While we're at this, doing a vote of no confidence for the Senate, we also need one for Chief Justice Alan Crane. Vote of no confidence because we no longer believe that they have the faith or ability to lead us as they need to.
Good luck replacing him.
I don't know about that one.
The laws...
That is the dumbest
As an
thing
example
I've ever
for you,
heard in my life.
the laws that went into place last night that you'll all be aware of, none of this goes through any of the judges anymore. None of it. They don't
Who the fuck is this?
work through what any of the wording should be. No, it gets dictated down to them by Alan Crane.
Yes.
While we're restoring democracy,
Because isn't
we
he
need
the
to
Chief
restore
Justice?
democracy
Isn't
at
that
all
what he's
levels.
supposed to do? Sorry.
What the
The
fuck?
Chief Justice position should be a voted-in position by all the judges.
I agree. That I agree too.
Ew!
Greetings, everybody. It's me, Leslie
Everybody
Lindbergh
gets to
again,
talk.
business genius guru. I just wanted to touch
is that
upon
Percy
the
Weaver?
statement
Did he
made
just
by
say that?
Lang Buddha earlier about the name island, and I just wanted to clarify that that is my idea. In fact, it has been my idea for a couple of months now, even to the point where I tried to push it during Lang's stay in the office. However, it has not happened yet. We are hearing a lot of different ways to change things in this city. Re-elections, elections, all these things. I think what this city needs is somebody that is blunt and honest. 98% of everybody that walks this soil is not going to make a change in what they want to change. So let's focus on the things that we can change, yes? Abolish water. Name island. We start there, then we move on to the more important questions. Thank you.
I'm gonna be twice as horny on Twitter because of you.
Don't worry, I already marked you.
Same.
All right, come on. Who else has something to say? Come on, step on up there.
Hey.
Hello, can you hear me?
I wasn't even told this was happening.
You sound great, beautiful.
Yeah, I literally.
Okay, hi. My name is Alexandra Carlson. I currently hold title of judge within our Department of Justice. Before that, I've also worked within the Unified Police Department, and I've been practicing law on both sides, both as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney. When I moved here, I knew one thing, and that was that I wanted to help implement my legal knowledge in getting people charged correctly and in a correct way. Everyone has the right to go to trial to defend themselves and to have their voice heard. Justice is something that seems lacking to me in these couple of days, last couple of days and weeks. It is a very scary thought to have. I believe that we are experiencing a situation where there is no good. It seems like both sides on this conflict do bad shit and then do even worse shit to get back at the other. It's a vicious cycle with no good outcome. And what are we doing to stop this? How are we trying to bring peace and stability back to our state and our citizens? Over the last 2 years, we all have been guilty of something. We've been too focused on our own immediate problems, forgetting to check about some legislation that was letting it slip through the cracks. We have given 2 people absolute authority over us. We have given them the power to do whatever the fuck they want to us, whenever they want to. People are now sent up under the charge of treason, but in truth, each and every one of us can just be sent up for no reason at all. Absolute power has no place within our state. We are no longer a democracy where it's tyranny. We should have the people in charge. I, as a judge, should have an obligation to the citizens of Los Santos, giving just rulings, explain my thought processes, protect the right of everyone to have that just process and potential to have their day in court. I believe it is time we take back the state for ourselves and help create the state that we want. We need to return San Andreas to the people. Thank you.
Actually, good speech.
True. Valid.
No, you're not.
Hello, testing. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, I am Judge Elizabeth Gates, aka the AU Judge. A lot of you may not actually know who I am because I work AU shift every single fucking morning. I've missed like 3 of them because I was sick. 2 years ago, when the absolute authority of the Senate hit, I said, ooh, that fucking sucks. I don't like that, and I moved on with my life. However, I am one of the people who has been personally affected with the lack of due process. My own son, a fucking idiot for participating, has been denied his due process and is now in jail for treason. I'm not saying they should be let go. I'm saying that they should have a right to have their fucking day in court. That is the God-given right, or whatever, God's given right. I believe in Nikita. I don't know about the rest of them.
I believe in Nikita.
Whether or not you give a fuck because they did something stupid, it's easy to say, oh, well, they're the bad guys. I cannot hear you from the stage, so you yelling is not doing anything. If you want to heckle, you gotta get closer. But if you start going, oh, they're the bad guys, they don't deserve due process, they're the bad guys, who defines the fucking bad guys? At what point do the bad guys transition into, well, somebody who just did a little something wrong? somebody who pissed off the wrong person. At what point does it stop being the bad guys and it's anybody who said no? It's very easy to sit there and say, well, they fucked up and they don't deserve due process. But who's gonna speak up for you when they say, well, he fucked up, she fucked up, they don't deserve due process? Every single fucking person, from the worst to the best deserves to have their fucking day in court. Thank you.
Hello. Holden. Release them and give Osvaldo the death penalty.
Oh my god.
That is all.
Oh my god!
That's my dad!
Yeah!
That's my dad!
Yeah! Put him
That-
down.
Good man.
The lack of comprehension in this town is fucking amazing.
I think it might just be you.
Sorry, you talk about due process when they are literal terrorists and they're treasonous. I've been a clean civilian for 3 years, and my due process was denied to me by the DOJ when a warrant was signed by a cop who has held no accountability by the rest of the PD and the DOJ. My clerk position was taken by me by a fellow judge, and nobody is held accountable. And you are talking about the due process for terrorists and treasonous when you are clearly so biased because that's your son, and you are asking for the due process for people who have been planting bombs for the past 6 months and continue to do so when bombs were found on that island, and you are and now it still happens, and you're like, please, let's give them the due process so they can just do it again. Are you listening to yourself? I don't think so. You should listen to what has been found, and that it's not going to happen again. We are not going to be bombed again. And then all you do is you don't speak.
The last week, you fucking
PBSO
idiot.
is actually exploded. It got bombed post-war. What the fuck?
Yeah, Brian and Bass didn't want to listen to
fucking
what I had
understand
to
that,
say
Ellen.
when I was trying
We're
to tell
saying
them
due
about
process for
bombs.
everybody.
Everyone
Maybe you
deserves
should
due
look
process.
at yourself.
Everyone.
Look at yourself before you ask
You
for the
are
people
included
who
in the
have been
everyone.
sent away. How am I included? How am I included?
Let her speak. If you want to speak, get up after her. Let her speak.
How am I included? Did I
Not
plant the
everyone.
bomb? I didn't.
Everyone.
I didn't plant that bomb. I didn't put your family and friends in jail. You say Aegis is bad? I didn't do shit. Not everybody who talks shit about Aegis. Do you come and talk to me and ask what Aegis is? We regulate storefronts. We give civs jobs. And all you do is say Aegis is the bad guy when we create opportunities for people who don't have those opportunities. And all you decide is to lump them in with the bad people. So before you go and assume things about people, maybe go and talk to them and have a sit-down conversation, because that's all I do. I give people opportunity, and I talk to those people before going behind their backs and saying shit about them.
I don't think she understands the point of what due process is.
Yeah, Eve, Brian or Bass didn't give a shit about.
Tristan, can you like go and define what due process is? Because people don't fucking understand
Back
it.
when my thing was going on.
Yeah,
Just
Tristan
saying.
would know if he went up there. Yeah, that's fine.
If I just go up there, I'm just gonna scream obscenities.
Good luck, everyone.
Oh yeah, no, I just said due process for all.
No. I just tweeted out the definition of due process. The only thing also the argument that giving them due process will let them go means you think they didn't do a crime. You think that they're innocent. Never did I say agents was bad. I just said their legislation.
Loser.
Rude.
Cute loser.
This is such a shit show.
If anybody else has
Yeah, that's
anything
why I
they'd like
don't
to
show up
say
at
or
the
speak,
town
they
hall.
should get up and speak, right? But like straight up, if when people are speaking, I'd allow them, and then if you want to rebut and talk about them or counter their points, get them come here and talk, right? Talk publicly so everybody can see and everybody can hear, and that everybody has a chance to speak.
I spilled my coffee.
These opportunities are rare. You know how often we have town halls now. You know how often we get this opportunity. If you want to speak, come speak. But do it properly, okay? And give other people the same liberties as we're extending to you. Mr. Costello, is that you, sir?
Yes.
Do you want to come speak as somebody who's actively affected by all of this?
Look behind you.
Do you want to
Grayson.
tell your side of the story?
There's somebody behind you. Okay, I guess. Don't give that bozo a fucking platform, Jesus. Nobody wants to listen to Carmine.
Hello, is this thing on? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Boo.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. I was just driving past and I saw a gathering of people and I'm curious. I guess this got something to do with Sanguine, right? And what happened?
Do it. Please
Oh,
do
you
it.
want-
No.
you hear- You want to hear my opinion
Let's
on what happened on that fateful day, the war? I was wronged. I was given a charge of treason wrongfully, arrested for 10 years. I got out on the 11th. I'm a free man now. Am I bitter, jaded? Yes.
Don,
But-
armors.
But, I feel like what happened on Sanguine was just. Brian did the right thing. He's a war hero that has been exiled wrongfully, and if I could have it my way, every Sanguinian dog would have breathed its last breath on that island. I don't know why we brought him to our mainland, and we're feeding them our good food. They should be dead and gone. And
Holy
damn
shit.
big corporations too. That's to Cerberus as well, okay? It all comes back to Cerberus. Cerberus funded Sanguine, and it's all a conspiracy. And I know who killed the commissioner. The lizard. There are no lizard. It's not. There are no lizard people. And I'm running for mayor.
Boo!
It's my announcement. I'm running for not mayor. Shit, Senate. I'm running for Senate.
Get the fuck off.
So I can make the hard choices.
Boo.
A man of the people, for the people. That's the Sanguine and Cerberus. Can I get a hooray when I say hip hip? Hip hip!
Boo.
Hip hip!
Yes. Those
Your
tomatoes.
mothers.
Boo.
Get out of there, Carmine.
Hello, can you guys hear me? I'm gonna assume yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Just some thoughts on what I've heard so far. I'm a little bit disappointed that I wasn't told that this was happening until it was already halfway through, so I'm gonna address the things that I've heard since I got here. Number one, if anybody believes that this city could function half as well without Crane, you are a moron and don't realize how much he does.
True.
Number two, as far as the treasonists go, when you complain about them not having their day in court, not having due process, you need to keep in mind that they were warned multiple times over several days before they went out there. And if I tell you that you're gonna burn your hand touching a stove and then you turn around and say, hey, why is my hand burned? Why did you do that to me? That's not right. Honestly, that's on you. As far as petitioning the Senate goes, we can start a petition and move towards trying to dissolve the Senate. I highly recommend anybody reach out to my office who has any ideas on how they want to go about that. and anything in the future. DOJ, I encourage you to keep the mayor's office in the loop when hosting these types of things in case there's anything we would like to say to the public as well. Thanks.
This wasn't hosted by the DOJ, Andy.
Who's it hosted by?
Citizens.
Citizens.
Right.
Interesting.
Hey, Andy, this was definitely hosted by the DOJ, by the way.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi. Okay, right. Okay, let me clarify some things. The argument that you were warned and that is enough for the removal of due process is insane. These are constitutional rights of the citizens of Los Santos. They are defended and codified within our Constitution. You cannot usurp the Constitution because you throw up a state announcement, that's a name. No, that is not the way due process works. That is not the way any functional justice system should work. No, I am just saying no. As for this being hosted by the Department of Justice, it was not. There's a reason it was not held at Town Hall. There is a reason I am not currently working as a judge. This was hosted as a citizen of Los Santos because people had approached me and asked for a forum on which to speak. I provided a forum in which people can speak. If anybody else would like to speak,
What are we doing? Okay.
Just a bunch of fucking children.
Oh, they're talking about an illegal war. What do you expect?
No, it's like they're a bunch of fucking children who don't understand the concept of quite literally freedom of speech, of like just fucking let them talk. If you have something to say, like go up there, address it. But the fact that everybody's just screaming at each other and going to Twitter to be like, you fucking idiot, I'm like, that's why I just don't want to even be here anymore. I'm fucking pissed.
Come on, 360 no scope. You forgot the 2-1, that's crazy. Oh my god, you're so good! Stop. There's a cop here. This is why you're 2-1. See? You see the lights?
I don't know how I see the lights, but yeah, I see the lights.
It's very bright.
I literally never threw 1-1. I literally never threw 1-1.
I fixed it, don't worry.
I've literally never threw 1-1 this. Ever.
No, but you should.
And who tells people that they should do that?
I mean, it's common sense that if you're shooting, you should
At a
probably let
shooting
people
range,
know.
at a gun store.
Yes. Because surprisingly, there are gun stores that get robbed. I don't know if you
And who would have told me
remember. It's a gun store.
that? Who would have fucking told me that, though?
Why do... Huh? You angry? You good? I mean, we said yellow. God, hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, God damn it. Give me a second. I'll call you back. The form reset. I need to fill this out again. But I'll call you once I get there. It's like 5 minutes. All right. Okay. Bye bye. Are you?